Hi there, Michael Eskin here with another ABC Transcription Tools demo. Today I want to dive down a little bit into the power of the new MIDI gchord feature that was just added to ABC.js and that I've added to the tool. So I'm going to go ahead and add a tune to the work area here. I'm just going to grab Cooley's from the add menu and we'll go ahead and play it. And this is going to use the old backup system, and this is what's used by default unless you specifically want to use gchord. It's got a piano sound for the chords and a synthesized bass sound. So now I'm going to change that back up using gchord. So all you have to do is just add %% MIDI gchord, and that is followed by a control string that determines exactly if you want a boom, a chick, or one of the notes that's in the chord to play. And the information on that, if you look in the user's guide, there's a section on using MIDI gchord, and there's a link to the specification for MIDI gchord. And it explains it in this section here. So you can put in a rest, a chord, the fundamental bass, or the individual notes of the chord. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to recreate the default pattern that's used before. We're going to have a bass, a silence, a chord, a silence, bass, silence, chord, silence. Each of these correspond to an eighth note in the measure. We'll go ahead and play that. It'll sound exactly like before. So going forward, I'm going to just go ahead and mute the melody here. So again, here's the backup pattern. If I want that to be just bass and no chords, I'm going to take all the chords out. We're just going to hear the bass. If I want it to be bass and 3 chords, be F, C, 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 F, C, C, C. F is the bass, C is the chord. But where things get really interesting is the ability to specify arpeggiated notes. And the gchord spec uses the letters G, H, I, and J to indicate the notes of the chord. Uppercase is a lower octave and lowercase is a higher octave. So I'm going to do G, H, I, J, G, H, I, J. That will give you a constant arpeggio of the 4 notes of the chord. And if we wanted to hear that in context, and I could, for example, change the chord program from a piano, and I will pick out, let's say, the orchestral harp, which is 46. And so now we will have this arpeggiated backup on harp. We can raise it up an octave and have it go up and down. So I'm going to have it do G, H, I, J, J, I, H, G. So it's going to go up and down. And here's it without the melody. And I'll turn the melody back on. can have a lot of fun with this. So we could put, for example, we put a boom at the beginning of that, maybe another boom in the middle. So now we have a mix of booms and arpeggios. So an incredible amount of power in the G chord feature, and I've seen it used for tango rhythms and for all kinds of patterns. So you can have multiple G chords in a tune. You can even have them in line. I'm going to go ahead and change this one back to just the straight arpeggio. And I'm going to have two of them. I'm going to have the first one be high arpeggios and the second one be low arpeggios. So now the first line of the tune will play with a high arpeggio, and then it'll switch to a low arpeggio in the second half. I'm again going to mute the melody. You can hear that. So there's just all kinds of flexibility in G chord. Again, I highly suggest checking out the user's guide section on the feature and reading up on the patterns on the ABC MIDI site. The G chord system does work with my private boom and chick fraction options where you can actually lengthen or shorten the individual notes. So for example, if I wanted to make those harp notes longer, I could change the chick fraction from 100% to, let's say, 200%. And now when we play it, they should be quite a bit longer, more legato. And we'll go ahead and listen to that in context with the melody. Again, an incredibly powerful combination of having the boom and chick fractions along with G chord. I think that really gives you total control over the feel of the backup. So this is a really powerful new addition to the tool, and it seems very stable and robust. As always, if you find any issues or have any questions, please let me know on the Facebook group.